After that, please tell me about competition and tell us whether it is good or not.
Definitely, I believe it's good. As Mohsen said, I think there are a lot of advantages that cannot be ignored, ignored. And I think competition helps us to motivate, to have enough motivation for doing for achieving our goals. And especially competition, I think helps us. In terms of studying, because as I mentioned, for example, let me clarify this issue with by giving an example. When I see other people, I mean other English learners that are better than me, in fact, their knowledge is better than me. So, indirectly, I'm eager to compete with them, to be like them. So, as I mentioned, it gives me enough motivation, enough eagerness for doing my best. And I think competition is generally good, especially about, for example, not about a specific issue. Generally, it's good. That's it.
Generally, it's good. Thank you very much. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Good night.
Night to you as well.
Thank
Fine.
you. Thank you for joining.
I'm sorry, is there a problem with group one? Because no one calls.
No one is in group one.
No one started the call, so I thought maybe there was a problem.
You could start a call. You didn't?
No.
Okay.
There weren't any person, there weren't any person online in that group.
Did you check
that?
Yeah,
and Miss Firuze sent us a link and told us and said you can join another group.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, she is my colleague. Okay, very good. So, thank you for joining anyway. And, we are talking about competition. And now Mohsen and Mehdi told us their ideas about competition, whether it is good or not. And now it is your turn to tell us about that, please.
Okay. So I think competition could be a good thing in some ways. For example, in sports, competition can help you achieve your goals or get better, as you progress through time. Or, for example, in education, when there is competition, you can find out your weaknesses, your strengths, and you can work on your weaknesses and improve yourself. So in this way, competition can be a good thing. But sometimes it can be harmful for us. For example, in sports, when some people want to, always be the best, or how should I say it? When you get obsessed with competition, it can hurt you in some ways. For example, for me, when I used to, I think I've told you before, I used to swim when I was, I think, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and when you got into a competition, it was really stressful. You would get nervous, and you would constantly think that what would happen if you can't win, or if you place last in the competition, things like that. But all in all, I think it could be a good thing,
Yeah, generally, it could be good. Thank you very much. Okay, Mohsen, please, you tell me that are you a competitive person, and do you consider yourself as a competitive person?
Absolutely. I believe in a style like perfectionist. I always like to be best in every field that I participate. I want to always improve upon what I did in the past, and I like to challenge myself to see how close I can get to achieving it. Also, there is no such a thing as a true perfection, but in my belief, I think I'm a competitive person.
Very good. But I think you said that I try to challenge myself. You mean that you compete with yourself, not the
Yeah,
others?
yeah,
Oh my God, it is the best way. You try to be better every day in comparison with
um,
yourself.
yeah. Everyone should compare her or himself to himself. Not with another one. Maybe you and other people have a same destination, but you should try yourself. Not everyone has their own way. But I think if you want to improve, you can compare yourself with yourself again.
Yeah, that is great. The best way. Thank you very much. Mehdi, your
Yeah.
turn. Are you a competitive person?
I think to some extent I answered this question before that, but in fact, I like to repeat. I like to. In fact, I want to repeat Mr. Mohsen's speech in another way. As I told you, I believe that we should compete. Okay, we should be competitive and we should compete with ourselves. Let me tell you a sentence that I've heard of from Imam Ali. Okay, and it has yes, yeah. It has a nice beauty. In fact, it's meaningful. He has said, if 2 days of your life would be same, so you will be a loser. In fact, I compete with myself. In fact, every day, I believe we should do our best in order to have to make a difference with the other days. And on the other hand, for example, in learning English, as I mentioned before that, when I see other people, including you, that, for example, are better than me. In fact, they give me a motivation. However, I know some people that they would be disappointed when, for example, they see other people are better themselves. But I'm different. So in fact. They give me motivation. In fact, I think with myself, when other people have could achieve to that stage, so there is no
So you
any.
can.
Yeah, I can. So yeah, it's enough.
Yeah, that's great. But Mehdi, please think a little bit about jealousy in competitions, and I will come back to you later. Thank you very much. Amir Reza, are you a competitive person?
Yes, I think I consider myself a competitive person, and especially in education. As long as I can remember, I've been competing with my classmates and people around me to get better, and I've always tried to be at the top, but I could never achieve that. So hard. And yes, I think I'm a competitive person.
Uh-huh. And like Mohsen, you believe in perfectionism and all the time you like to be perfect?
Not all the time, but yes, generally, and especially when it comes to education, it would be really good if you always stay the best, but it's not possible. I mean, there are others, there are always others who are other people who are better than you. You just have to keep improving yourself and getting better.
Yeah. Is it possible to be competitive and enjoy each moment of your life at the same time or not? It is really hard when you compete with others. You forget to enjoy the seconds, the moments of your life. What happens?
I think it's about obsession. When you get really obsessed with competition and you just want to be the best, for no reason, then you can enjoy your life. But when you just want to enjoy your life and be the best, and at the same time, not just want to be the first one, to get something. Yes, I think you could enjoy your life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Mohsen, you tell me, do you think life is a competition or not?
In point of my view, yeah, I think life is a competition. I remember I read a book with the name of, I think, Alchemist, in Persian, Kimyager.
Kimyager.
Yeah, the author of that book said life is very a simple exam, but most of us fail because we
Oh,
attempt to come. What?
nothing. I said,
Okay.
oh.
Okay. Said, but most of us fail because we attempt to copy each other's answer, without realizing that everyone has got a different question paper, But I think it depends of your character and the perspective of the life that you see in your view. But generally, I think it's life is a competition. Is a competition.
Can you tell me about different question papers? How can we understand that? I got you. You mean that each and every person has to find his or her way in life. But how is it possible? Sometimes copying others is really easier and more achievable. What is the solution? Finding our unique way is not easy.
Yeah, maybe you should use the experience of the other people, but if you want to be one or if you want to be best, you should find you must, let's say you must find your way, your track, or your goal. You see some dots in your life. You should join these dots to be to realize or to I forget the residan to achieve
Arrive, huh?
yeah
Or
not with
achieve.
a car or yeah to achieve your goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is it Steve Jobs quote? One of the Steve
Yeah,
Jobs quotes?
yeah. I remember Mr. Farid told about dots in some sessions ago,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, even in the Alchemist, as I said, the author of that book even said that not dots, but he said that you see some specific dots in your life. You only some in your life chance go and run. You should achieve it to be
You means
successful, to be
maybe
succeed.
you may maybe I personally don't know the meaning of dots exactly, but I can guess that maybe he meant signs. We should follow the signs that we face in our everyday life. You mean this?
Something like this. Uh, I think everyone in your life
Mohsen? Can you hear Mohsen, my friend?
No.
He's disconnected, yeah?
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
Okay, I hope he will come back. Okay,
Yeah.
Mehdi, you tell me, is life a competition?
Live competition?
Yeah.
It's a kind of hard question. uh, life, okay. Life is, Mr. Amirza, if you're ready, please go ahead. I need some time to think about it.
Makes no
Yes.
difference.
Yes, I think it's a competition from the moment you're born, you know. I mean, it's just a way of nature. So, for example, whenever someone is born, or an animal, or I don't know, an insect or whatever they are, life form is born, they just try so hard to survive, you know. It's just a way of the world. So it's the same for us humans, you know. From the day we are born, we struggle to survive, and as we grow up and grow older, the competition just gets harder, you know, to survive, and until we die, you know. It's a big
Yeah.
competition.
Yeah, exactly. And let me ask you a question, Amireza. Aren't you obsessed with, for example, success, or with this kind of competitions?
You know, I used to, a couple years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, I used to be obsessed with competition. But then I just eventually realized that life is not just competition, you know. I mean, if you just think about competition and wanting to be the best, your life will just become numb, you know. It become pointless to live. So you have to find other things to enjoy, you know, in your life, apart from the competition. So yes,
And now you have found them.
yes, I'm trying to, you know, enjoy my life, or when I at the same time I'm trying to you know, stay at the top, or not yes, fail.
That's great. Congratulations. You are really young, and if you know the way of that, I think it is really admirable, and I congratulations. I say congratulations to you because of that. Very good. Okay, Mohsen, I think you were disconnected.
Yeah, I lost my
Uh,
connection.
okay, no problem. You were saying something. You were explaining something. Do you remember to
No,
continue?
I even I don't remember what I said. Uh, you remember that your question?
Maybe it was about signs that we have to follow in our life to find our ways. Am I right?
Yeah, I think something like this. Yeah. Uh, as I said, let's say my internet connection is poor. Maybe I disconnected again.
No
I said
problem.
mm, every person that came into your life has a reason. You know, uh, all of us are joined to this group. You know, and I think it has a reason. You, Mr. Amirza, Mr. Mehdi, all of us must meet each other. Maybe we did not see in this. Maybe we don't see each other in this group, but in future we see each other maybe in a park, in a restaurant. But I think it's something like this. Destination is to meet each other. You know, the signs always are true. I um, I experience the signs in my life, and I believe in signs.
Really interesting. Thank you very much. Okay, Mehdi, please tell us your ideas if you're ready. Mehdi, you are muted.
Yeah, I do my best to answer your question, but I'm not sure. You know, I think there is no doubt that life is a kind of competition. You know, I think every person is trying or tries to grab his or her right from life. Yeah, and I think life would be meaningful in competing with other people. In fact, just in this way, I think people have enough motivation for doing their best to achieve their goals. And I think and it seems that I'm struggling to find to say something. So, yeah, I think it's enough.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Amir, can you tell me about differences between men and women regarding competitions, and generally men are more competitive or women?
I think when it comes to education, women or girls, I might say, are more competitive than boys. I mean, at school or high school, they try so hard to compete with each other. But boys, I don't think are that competitive, compared to girls. But at work, I don't really have an idea, which one are more competitive.
Yeah, it is hard to answer because these days girls are really getting better, and maybe in the past at workplaces men were really more competitive, but these days everything is changing, and I think maybe they are at the same level, but I don't know. Let's ask Mr. Mohsen. Men are more competitive or women?
No, I think it's this question is ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, you write this question or you find it in a specific book. All of us know that there is not a difference between men and women in a subject of competing. In some field, yeah, maybe girls are competitive than men, or in other fields, men are competitive. But
Uh-huh.
I think it's not related. I think being competitive related to your character. I myself, if the subject is important for me, I try my best. But if the subject that I participated in, if I do not like that issue, I myself do not try for that. But I think I don't forget Nesbi,
Relative.
relative.
Yes, relative.
Yeah, I think it's relative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice answer. Thank you very much. Mehdi, what's your opinion?
At the first, maybe most people would say women or girls are more competitive compared with men. Because I do apologize for saying it because generally women are are jealous, yeah, or or more jealous than men. But I think, it was a kidding. But I believe it depends on what kind of feeds they are competing. For example, in some occasions, for example, studying, I don't know, or something like that. I think women are more competitive compared with men, because there are a number of reasons for it. And also, but on the other hand, I think men are more competitive than women in terms of financial issues. For example, men have a great passion for making more money, and also doing their best to be rich. And on the other hand, maybe, for example, women are eager or have a tendency to work on their appearance, I don't know, enjoying themselves or something. So I think to some extent, I think both gender are competitive, and it could be different based on their fields.
Yeah. Nice answer. Thank you very much. Okay, let me ask Mohsen a question about enjoying life. Mohsen, as you said, you believe in perfectionism, and you like to be the best. You are a competitive person. But if I'm not making a mistake, you are not obsessed with that. It is not, for example, I mean, it is not your first priority.
As I mentioned, I said if I like that field,
If you like that.
yeah, I try my best. I want to best.
Very good.
But if a pressure on me for to do something that I do not like, maybe I just do it then 80% of my attempts, But in other fields that I decided to do, yeah, I want to be best.
Good. My second question was this. Can you enjoy and do your best at the same time? But I think you answered that. When you like something, you can enjoy and you do your best.
Yeah, I think.
Am I right?
Yeah. If you like a specific field, you do it by your heart, and you do not, you enjoy your career or everything that you do. But I think I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. And Mireza, you tell me sometimes when we are in the middle of a competition or we try to get better, we unconsciously compare ourselves with others. As Mohsen said, as all of you said, the best way for competition is to compete with yourself, but sometimes it doesn't happen, and you see that you're competing with others, and this time sometimes you feel jealous of other people. I want you to tell me, has it happened to you? And what would you do if it happens to you? I mean, when jealousy comes into your mind.
I think jealousy is a kind of a normal emotion, a normal feeling, just like for example rage or sadness or things like that. I mean, when you look around you and you see others that are better than you in any field, any thing, you unconsciously get jealous. I mean, it's normal. But the question is how to, how to face your jealousy, how to
cope, how to deal or cope with that,
yes,
with
how
jealousy,
to cope
because
with it, yes.
yeah, it is normal, but if it rises from a special amount, could be harmful. But how can we control that?
I think we just have to remind ourselves that we are unique. Everyone is unique. I mean, I am me and you are you. Everyone is different, you know. I mean, just because someone is better than you in something doesn't mean that they're the best in other things as well. I mean, you just have to look into yourself and find things that you're good in. You know, I mean, you don't have to be good in something that you think you're not. You know, you can always find other aspects in your life in which you are good at. You know, I think that could be a good way to deal with your jealousy.
You mean, for example, reminding ourselves our strengths,
yes.
Reminding the things that we are good at.
Yes.
Or, for example, reminding the things that we have. Being grateful for positive sides of our lives. Thank you very much. Okay, Mehdi, what can we do with our jealousy when it comes to competitions?
You know, in fact, I disagree with Mr. Amirza that said it could be normal. Okay, it to some extent could be normal, but I think being jealous or being jealous is a negative point. You know, but how can deal with this issue? I think it depends on. Okay. For example, you know, some people are jealous of other people's appearance. So I think in this case, for coping with this issue, we should accept this belief, okay, this truth that, for example, appearance or being, for example, beautiful or handsome is something that has gifted us, okay, and we can achieve it, we can obtain it, for example. So we should accept this truth. On the other hand, for example, about other issues that people have done their best, in fact, have made a lot of efforts for achieving, for gaining it or them. I think we should, you know, we should work on ourselves in order to accept again these truths and this unspoken or unwritten rule that if they could achieve it, if they could obtain it, so we can do it too. You know, so I think, for example, in learning for English or something. Okay, so for example, you have a good talent, you know. For example, you have been gifted to learn things easily. I have that talent too. Okay, so I think just after that, I should do my best. I should study a lot, and I mean, God has gifted us the same talent. Okay, so but God doesn't study instead of me, and I should do it. I think it's the truth. In this way, I believe in this way we can cope with this issue. I mean, being jealous.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mohsen, your turn, please.
By the fact, I don't have a specific prescription for this question. You know, I think English people have an idiom, I think, that says, handle your hat. In Persian, we said, سرت به کار خودت باشه, something like this.
Yes.
If we want to be best in our career and want to decrease our jealousy, we should do our own business. And I think the best idiom is that claim that I said, we should handle our hat to be succeed.
Thank you very much for this nice idiom, and thank you all for joining. And I think from next session we will be more people here, and I'm here to listen if you want to say anything. If not, I want to wish you a good night and wish to see you again.
Just I want to appreciate you for your managing.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining and for your nice answers.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
You too. Amir Reza, anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice night. See you later.
You too.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.